Definitely, the pandemic has affected all higher education, not only at EUC, but worldwide. We had to switch between day and night to online learning and teaching, and that was not the plan at the beginning of the academic year last year. And addressing online learning at large in a very short period, or actually converting to online learning in a very short period of time, that had a great impact on higher education. I would say that EUC, as usual, was prepared. Before we get hit by COVID-19 in Egypt, when we saw that the COVID-19 is happening in China, we had an internal team meeting to say that this is a matter of time to hit us and we need to start preparing for COVID-19. So we started actually by training our faculty for online learning, and we told them that this is going to come to us and we need to be prepared. So the training finished actually a couple of days before we switched to online learning. And I would like to say that the hero of that were our faculty first, and the flexibility of our students too. We cannot ignore the flexibility of the students when we talk about how did we address the pandemic. It was different kind of trainings. One of them is how to convert your lecture into e-lecture, how to record them, how also to make sure that your class is interactive, because watching a video or a lecture is not the same as being in class where we can have a discussion. How can you balance between synchronous and asynchronous that happen at the same time? So the Center of Learning and Teaching did lots of training for our faculty, and when I say faculty, I mean full-time faculty and adjunct faculty too, in order to make sure that they can actually go to the new classroom and teach effectively. In fall 2020, the plan is to offer most of our classes online, and only 7% of our classes will have a component of face-to-face. Not all the classes of those 7% of the courses will have face-to-face meetings, but part of them will have only face-to-face. That means that depends on the ability of the faculty to make sure that we deliver the learning outcomes for a specific course. If the learning outcomes cannot be achieved unless we offer face-to-face component, then we had to offer face-to-face component. I truly believe that it's too early to assess the hybrid learning worldwide, but I'm sure that our faculty, especially the Center of Learning and Teaching, are looking at the assessment of hybrid learning and how can we learn from the lesson for the future too. We know for a fact that there is new reality now. Face-to-face teaching is not going to be the only way of teaching from now on. Even if we go back to our campus, we know that online learning will be part of the future, and we need to be prepared for that. So during the pandemic, those courses, specific courses, we allowed them to have a component of face-to-face. So we will bring the students to our campus, to our labs, or to our studios to have those face-to-face classes during the pandemic. Definitely, when we allowed our students to our campus in order to take part of their courses as face-to-face modality, we need to ensure the safety of the students and the faculty first. That comes before anything else. That means that we put them in a bigger classrooms, larger classrooms. We ensure the physical distancing between them. We ensure that we disinfect before and after them being in the classroom. All of those measures have been taken care of and also communicated to our community as well. Not only that, we also have measures to trace and track, which is very good for our stakeholders. So we ask the students before they come, they tell us some information about that. Do they have a fever? Do they have symptoms? And they fill in a survey online, and they show to the security at the gate, and if then the security allows them to the campus based on the results of that survey. Not only that, we also have now an app. If you are logged into our Wi-Fi system and you report later that you were infected or you have symptoms, we trace all the people who were in contact with you, with that person, and we inform them that they have been in contact with a COVID-19 suspect case. and we ask them to be quarantined and not to come to the campus. So I think we have taken all the necessary measures to ensure the safety of all our faculty, students, and staff. With every challenge, there is an opportunity. So that means that the answer is definitely yes. There are so many opportunities that came from the pandemic. It comes actually that I think many universities now will not be as hesitant as they were before to go for online learning. I truly believe also faculty have learned a lot from that experience, and students have learned a lot from that experience. I truly believe the main challenge is the interaction between and the mentoring that was happening between the faculty and the students. I'm not saying that it's not happening now online. It's happening online, but it's gonna be. I truly believe that it's more effective when it happens face to face. And also the challenge that the faculty they are putting now lots of time, more time than the usual, in order to make sure that the classes are interactive, to make sure that the students are mentored. That was happening by nature when they were on campus. Definitely the internet infrastructure in general in any country is going to be one of the barriers for online learning. In Egypt is not unique in that situation. However, at EUC, we availed laptops, we availed Wi-Fi USB modems to our students who cannot afford or do not have access to those two IT items, I would say, in order to be able to take their classes. So whenever we can, we help the students to either to have a laptop, or we give them a laptop, or a USB modem in order to be able to take their classes. Overall, the cost on the university to provide the online education has increased. It did not decrease. Some people will say, but you're not using the facilities as you used to when you have the students on campus. That's true. So maybe some part of the university expenses have been reduced, but there are other budget items that have increased. In totality, the cost on the university has increased. That's why we cannot reduce the tuition. But let me say something also about the tuition. Most of the people think that EUC is an expensive university, which is, I'm not denying that. However, the tuition of the students represent only 60 to 70% of the cost of the university. The remaining comes from our endowment and from donation from generous donors and from support of the grants that our faculty get into EUC. So EUC is not for profit organization. Every student at EUC is receiving subsidy for his education at EUC. Education is very expensive. Someone has to pay for it. We are very fortunate that EUC can subsidize the education that our students are getting. So when we trained our faculty to go online, the number one actually goal during that training is to make sure that we're not sacrificing the quality of our education. I think what's getting affected is the interaction between students and faculty and students. Students do not learn only from faculty, they learn also from each other. And that component is missing during the online education. No matter how hard you try to do it by phone or you meet your colleague in a cafe, but it's not the same as meeting on campus, discussing a topic or a problem in your class together so you can reach a solution to it. It's not the same. So I hope that ends very soon so we can bring everyone back to campus. Short answer, no, the pandemic did not affect the enrollment at EUC. We have seen actually an increase in the enrollment in the last summer and a little bit of increase in the enrollment in this fall. If the public health authority tell us that we need to close again, fully close again, we will close again. I think it's mainly public health triggers that will allow us to either fully close, or fully open. I truly believe that we have two competitive edges. One is the creativity and the innovation of our faculty. Two is the resilience and the flexibility of our students. So let me say that actually we have a committee the standing committee to look at the situation. They meet almost weekly to address the situation, and they have different scenarios and different plans. Different scenarios and different plans answer all scenarios, from going fully online or going fully back face to face. So we have, as I mentioned a minute ago, that one of the competitive edges for AUC is the creativity and innovation of our faculty. That committee is an example of that. So they have planned per course on what to do if things go in the right direction, we're to open again, or in my opinion, the wrong direction, which is we have to fully close. The committee does not have students representation in it, but actually the committee do a focus group and listen to the students, listen to the faculty, even actually interview health experts in order to make sure that their recommendations are valid ones and also make sense to the students, and the students will be able to adapt to them. We use different tools to offer the classes online and to assess them as well. So in order to offer the classes online, we use the normal learning management system that AUC have been using in the past, which is Blackboard. In addition to that, now we have Zoom. We use Zoom constantly to have this synchronous classes. And for assessment, we purchased a software that allow faculty also to proctor the exams if they need to proctor the exams. That's $1 billion question, and that's very important. And in April of 2020, we also established another committee to look at the future of education at AUC and how would actually this new experience will affect the AUC academics. This committee is led by faculty, and it's mainly our faculty, but we also talk to experts in the field. They talk to students, they talk to the board of trustees, our faculty, and our alumni. They have several meetings with all those stakeholders in order to plan for the next 20 years. Takeaway lessons are: with every challenge, there is a great opportunity. Be flexible, be creative, and every problem has a solution.